Hi, everybody. Hello. Sorry, it took me a minute because, YouTube was being really dumb. Give me 1 second. Hello, everybody. Making myself a little cup of coffee. So, hold on. Yeah, it took like 3 or 4 tries to try to get this stupid thing to go live. Insane. So I did a grand tableau on Rudy today. So I'm just going to put this here and we'll go over it. So, but how's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Hey, tribal woman, thank you. Okay, 16, 28, 3, 3, 3, 3. Oh, man. That goes there. You go over here. 3. Okay, 27. So how's everybody feeling about the news? Spanky McSpankerton, not even 24 hours later, breaking the conditions of his pretrial release. And then about to get hauled right back into freaking court again for being a dumbass. Hold on, 636. Oh my gosh, Carol, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You were too kind. Wow. That's very sweet of you. Let me see. 13. 33. Wait. 27, 26, 36, 13, 33, 21, 15. So I'm missing one up here. 1, 35, 8, 23, 16, 28, 25, and then 3. Haha. Let me see. 22. 22. Let me see. 22, 14. Sorry, give me a minute, you guys, while I'm putting this back together. 14, 34. 18, 26, 31, 7, 24. Okay. And then 32. 29. 9, 10, 11, 5, 12, 19. Okie dokie. And then it's 30, 17, 2 and 4. Okay. Okay. Let me see if I can. I've been using baby wipes to blow my nose. Ugh, hold on. 1 second, please. Gotta check this. Mountain Dancer, thank you so much. You're too kind. You see, and Tribal Woman, thank you so much. Sorry if I sound disgusting, you guys. I'm sick. I'm feeling better, but I'm sick. So hold on. My little coffee just got done. Let me go grab that real quick. Oh boy. Got my little cup of coffee. Okay. I think Diane wanted me to go over a grand tableau. Is Diane in the chat? Hey, John. Because I just got off of Autumn's channel, and she had asked for a recap on somebody, but I can't remember. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you so much. I'm feeling much better than I was last week. That's why I didn't go on with Johnny and Jenny, because I just felt like poopy. I think she asked for the one on Mark Meadows, but I don't remember because I have it here in my notes. But it was Diane that was asking, but I don't see her in the chat. I don't see her in the chat at all. Unless my chat's being stupid. Hi, James. Okay, well, we'll figure it out. Anyways, I did this grand tableau today on Rudy Colludi. So today, August 4th, 2023. In this grand tableau, he's got the writer in its own house. He's got the child in its own house, and he's got the heart in its own house. So those are 3 ginormous themes, okay? And also he's got a mirror of coffin in the house of ship in the house of coffin. So those 2 are mirroring each other. So with that, one way to interpret that is trying to get feedback that he was desiring a lot in regards to a child from news about a child that he was really, really wanting to get, but that news was coming from abroad. and it was news to put an end to something, kill something, make it end, dead. Okay. So perhaps the only child I can think of that's loved a lot, that he was trying to get dirt on, is Hunter Biden. Okay. The name of the who I'm doing the GT should be on in the title of this video. So that's one way to interpret that. The writer, child, heart, and then these two mirroring. So feedback or news about a child that he was desiring, or that child is very much loved. That news comes from abroad. It was to end something, kill something, make it dead, whatever. Okay. Hey, Sunflower, how are you? So that's one way to interpret that. But anyways, he is landing up here on the very top of the grand tableau. So he's in pretty good position, meaning this is everything that he thinks he has control over. Again, he thinks he has control over it. Okay. You're sleepy? Yeah, it's late. I was just on the reason I'm on late is because I just got off of Autumn's channel. Because I don't know if you heard, Sunflower, but the news broke, I guess, just a little bit ago. Donald Trump was threatening, made a threat on Truth Social. So Jack Smith is taking that shit straight back to the DC courts. I can't remember exactly what he said. Oh, Lucky Girl put it there. I think he posted something on Truth Social like, if you're coming after me, I'm going to go after you. Yeah, if you go after me, I'm coming after you. So Jack Smith said, all right, you want to dance? Let's go. So he took it back to the court. And he's seeking a protective order. So I was just on Autumn's channel for that. And to give her credit, when I was on a couple of days ago, and Karin from Tea with Karin jumped into the chat. Remember, Donald Trump sits in the House of Birds right here. And Birds is over here in the House of Heart with Key underneath it. And you guys remember Karin saying in the comments, man, he just keeps yapping. He won't shut up. Got him in trouble. That mouth of his got him in trouble. So that's going on. So Autumn and I were reading on that. I only joined her at the tail end, but I think, okay, tribal woman, I'm not sure. Lucky Girl, what does protective order mean? Like, kind of like a gag order to shut him up? I think it's like a gag order. I could be mistaken. But yeah, he made a threat on his Truth Social even after the judge the other day. And any order issued by a court which is meant to protect a person from harm or harassment. Yeah, because the judge just told him you cannot intimidate witnesses or anything. And then he made that post. It's not to protect James. No, the protective order today, Jack Smith took it back to the court in DC. So this is in regards to the January 6th indictment. So, yeah, intimidating the witnesses with the whole, if you're coming after me, I'm going to go after you bullshit. It's like, what, in your golf cart? Like, what are you doing, fatty? So anyways, Rudy is up here. He's sitting pretty well in the tableau. However, he's sitting in the House of Clouds. No bueno. Okay. Rudy's Corners. News or the arrival, the feedback from abroad, a foreign government, a foreign institution that highlights or specifies an agreement or some sort of a promise. Okay. But he gets a lot of fame for it. And what was that for? To influence the elections this way. So somehow Hunter Biden is caught up in this, not only because of the chain or the houses, writer, child, heart, and then these two marrying, but also what is central to his tableau. Punishing a child. This would be like Biden, I guess, dog in the house of garden, and then book right next to it. Or sicking people around, making this person a target, making them suffer. But it's a child or someone's child. Okay. So with that said, this top line, yeah, he's sitting pretty, but I will tell you what, this man is going through, or about to be going through real soon, a serious mental breakdown, like a nervous breakdown. So there's your news of something arriving. If this is illness and this takes away, that's like a mental breakdown because of all the shit he's in, the widespread corruption here. Okay. So he's thank you, John. He's shitting his pants. So pretty soon, if not already, huge mental breakdown, nervous breakdown, not mental, nervous breakdown is what I meant to say. The conspiracy over this loss is very widespread, very broad and widespread, and he is linked to it. But he's also linked to something else that he was working on that comes from abroad. Okay. We know that he was involved in the whole pressuring the Ukraine on Hunter Biden stuff. That's in the past. This is like now. So there's something else that he's been working on with this conspiracy that is so broad that he's linked to, that has to do with something that is abroad, if that makes sense. Okay. Right here, down his column, it's the man, the key in the house of Fox, sun in the house of Crossroads, and tree in the house of Lilies. One way to interpret it is that there's something really important that it's going to have to be highlighted in regards to his health, but it's not super, super serious because the tree is kind of sitting far away. Another way to interpret this as well, and the reason I say that is because of the mental breakdown or the nervous breakdown going on up here. Okay. Another way to interpret this as well is that he has the answers, or he is the key person here in regards to an investigation and fraud. Key in the house of Fox, he was working on something to manipulate and defraud. So he's key to that. Sun in the house of Crossroads for success in the elections. And then tree in the house of Lilies, deeply rooted. And something that, and this is just going to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. So he's going to be very important to this investigation on what he was working on to defraud or commit fraud. Key in the house of Fox. Look what sits before Fox. Election fraud. Results that are fraudulent, that were being offered to overturn something or change it. Okay. But he's deeply rooted, and this only continues to grow. The tree is in the house of Lilies. Now, this can be something that's growing over time, but also I would consider that to be the special counsel with the Lilies. Why? Because the Lilies is a mentor. It's someone that has, what am I trying to say here? A mentor, someone that is an expert in their field, if that makes sense. Very pure. Let me see. So if you're picking up what I'm putting down, I'm sorry because I'm sick and I can't think straight. So he is super, 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 super key to that one. So he's in the crosshairs right now with Jack Smith. This next column over here, if the tower is presenting for the law and trial, it's like 2 months ahead. This is 2 months ahead, where he's speaking and talking at trial. Also down here, there's something going on with the woman that's very emotional that he attacked sexually. So emotional woman, very pretty. Okay. Also with this right here, perhaps like some sort of a hairdresser or cutting her hair or something like that. But this is an attack, sexual. And then again, this thing is growing and growing and growing and growing. There's something on a phone or a meeting that is brought before the courts and the law. And that is in regards to a relationship. Tower in the house of moon, moon in the house of ring, ring up here next to him. So he's going to have that to look forward to. And if you guys did not see what I put on, what I put on the YouTube comment section the other day, I'm going to read it for you. Why? Because I'm an asshole. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. One second. Yep. She's suing Rudy Giuliani. Okay. So Rudy Giuliani, there's a transcript that was submitted to the court the other day. A voice transcript that she recorded. Okay. Here it is. I'm going to read it. And this is only part of the transcript. The rest is just as bad. I mean, he's making anti-Semitic statements and all that stuff. Now, I will make this disclaimer. If you have sensitive ears, see yourself out. If you do not like cursing, see yourself out. If you don't like really bad smut, see yourself out. This is the final warning before I read the transcript of Rudy Giuliani. Okay? 1, 2, 3, and I'm going. Giuliani, come here, big tits. Come here, big tits. Your tits belong to me. Give them to me. And then it says, indiscernible. I want to claim my tits. I want to claim my tits. I want to claim my tits. These are my tits. Okay? To which Miss Dunphy replies, oh yeah, Mr. Giuliani, these breasts belong to me. Nobody else can get near these, okay? I don't care if they're flirting or they give you business cards. They are mine. You got it? Miss Dunphy, yes. Mr. Giuliani, understand? I'm very fucking possessive. I've gone easy on you. Miss Dunphy, I don't know. Mr. Giuliani, I've been easy on you. Miss Dunphy, you're pretty tough on me. Mr. Giuliani, I've been easy on you. Give them to me. And then she replies, maybe. And then the transcript goes on and on and on. But yeah, if you want to read that, it's on my community page. But that was the voice transcript of Rudy Giuliani that his assistant is using against him in court. So that's this line right here. Okay? Does not bode well for him. Scythe in the house of man, abusive and violent. Okay? But it works against him this way. He gets the axe. I mean, oh, Lord. Okay, so this next one, a problem in a relationship or an agreement that was made. There was a delay or some sort of an obstacle here because of what he said or something that was said that was false. Lying about a loss and thievery, snake in the house of mice, okay? And then people singing like canaries. The birds in the house of Sun. So this has to do with the whole, hold on. This has to do with the whole stuff, because people are flipping and telling on each other. Also, there's stuff on phones that come to light. Okay, so lying about a relationship, a commitment, or problems with a relationship or some sort of commitment, lying about something or trouble with something that he values. Okay, there's a problem there, and obstacles and delays. Delays with power, Mountain in the House of Bear. Also, huge financial problems. Bear in the House of, Mountain in the House of Bear. As a thing, this would be like freezing assets. Freezing assets, freezing resources get frozen. Okay. Snake in the House of Mice. Trouble with losses, or lying about losses, or lying about stealing something. And then Birds in the House of Sun. Meetings, negotiations, conversations, phone calls, anything via verbal. Okay. That gets brought to light. That emphasizes what took place. Also, a meeting that was had in a tall official building of some sort. So this line here could also be in regards to something coming up next month. This would be in September. Something coming up around a meeting that was had with other people and teams on how they were going to work together to delay and obstruct someone in power. Okay, that's this next line. So that's 3 or 4 different ways to interpret that. This line over here is when the law shows up. Okay, so we have the ship, the bear, the heart, and the Tower. There's your transition and your transfer of power, transferring power and what was desired in the law or with the courts or in government. Okay, the transition was stopped. Ship in the House of Coffin. Remember, these two are mirroring. Okay. But eventually it moved forward. The loss, they were trying to overcome the loss, move past the loss. Okay. There's your power in the House of, Stars. So we're looking at widespread, very vast power. Also, how he guiding, he was the guide. This is sitting in the House of Stars. So how he was guiding the transition of power, stopping one and making the other, like the traffic director. Okay, you stop. You know, like when there's like the lights go out in intersections and you have the cops out there trying to the traffic cops directing traffic. That's like him right here. Okay, guiding power, and power that is widespread and very, very vast, because it was desired. This person here desired that. Okay. And then being very successful and famous in government. Okay. So there's that. So if I would have to say, the news is coming very quickly that's going to fucking blow up in his face. This line right here, up here. I don't know if you can see it. It's writer, anchor, coffin, mice, and what is this? Stars. Okay. That news is coming in fast. That's going to make him go ass and elbows, shit his pants, just shit his fucking pants. Okay. So that's coming in real quick. And then I see court and the law 2 months ahead. So August, September, October. And then here's a hearing here. This is a team of people working together. A team of people that were working together with him, because the stealing is very, 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 very broad. Okay. Let's see here. So, but that news is coming in quick. The writer is an action card that is very, very fast. So this is arrival of the news of stealing something and losses that are widespread, criminality that is widespread. So as far as him being indicted, it's coming very quickly. I can't give you a time because it's hitting this way. See what I'm saying? It's not going on down a column where I can look at it for the month. It's at the very top this way. And this is super quick. But court is 2 months ahead. So where's the crossroads? Because this line here is delivering the results of the election, but it was more than one result. They were providing alternatives, and it was in compliance with what these people had agreed to. Okay, so that's this way. Let me see. Hold on, guys, give me a second. I gotta go take care of my nose real quick. One moment, please. Can you guys give me a second real quick? I'm going to run upstairs and see if I can get some meds. I'll be right back. Taking my little coffee with me. Okay, I'm back. Let me see what I miss in the chat. Now I'm hesitant to go smut lessons and NyQuil. I should, yeah, lucky girl, I should not be one of those voice actors for audiobooks because that was just, do you want me to read it again? Do you want me to read it again? Come here, big tits. Come here, big tits. Come here, big tits. That was so bad. That was so bad. Oh my God. And I put that on my community post and I said, if I had to read that shit, so did you guys, damn it. For the love, that's all. For the love of all that's holy. Come here, big tits. Come here, big tits. He said it like 5 times. Hold on. I got to go count how many times he said it. Hold on. I got to count. Let me see. Okay, come here, big tits. Come here, big tits. Your tits belong to me. Give them to me. Something indiscernible. I want to claim my tits. I want to claim my tits. I want to claim my tits. These are my tits. So he says, come here, big tits, twice. And then he says, I want to claim my tits. I want to claim my tits. I want to claim my tits 3 times. And then he says, these are my tits. And then he says, your tits belong to me. So he says, come here, big tits, twice. I want to claim my tits 3 times. Okay, you guys want to know something funny? When I first read this transcript and I didn't see the names, I just saw Mr. Giuliani, but I didn't see Miss Dunphy. I just saw the D. I was like, oh my God, is this him talking to Donald Trump? I couldn't stop laughing. And then I had to look at it again. And I was like, oh, he's talking to a woman because all I saw was the D. So I thought he was talking to Donald Trump. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I've never read for time this way. I think I've only done it once. Hey, John. I've only done it once. But if I would say by the end of the month, because news arrives by the end. See, so I would say perhaps by the end of the month is when we hear about him being indicted, because the courts show up 2 columns ahead in October. Yeah, it would fit, wouldn't it, Azalea? Oh God. I mean, I've seen him in his golfing clothes, so yeah. Okay, so I would guess by the end of the month, but it's coming in quick. Here. This is all the stuff we went over this before I had to go take care of my face about the meeting and all the agreements that were made in regards to obstructing and how he was one of the main people guiding the effort. And then this is about the transition of power, stopping the transition, but the transition went ahead. Okay. Because the Ship in the house of Coffin, Coffin in the house of Ship. These 2 are marrying each other. For the talent. Thank you, Nina. Come here, big tits. I can't. I mean, I read some junk, but I have never, ever read something that horrible, especially like when you get the mental image of Rudy Giuliani. It's just disgusting. And then when you think about, remember that Borat movie where Borat had to break into the room because he really thought that Rudy Giuliani was going to go there with that girl that was the actress. And Borat had to jump in and he's like, no, she's too young for you. You remember that? And he was like on the bed with his hands down his pants and everything. And then he tried to say, oh, I was just tucking in my shirt. It's like, no, you weren't, homeboy. Yeah, Rudy dressed like a woman. I've seen that, Bonnie. I mean, I'm going to have to bleach my brain. It's just so gross. It's so gross. So I would say perhaps by the end of the month, and then there's something here that moves forward very quickly with the trial in around October, because this is the column here for October. I don't think so, John. Oh God, no. No. That's just gross, John. That's gross. That is gross. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Okay, this column over here, now we're in November. This whole column with November is talking about delivering the results of the election, but there was alternatives or more than one. I know you're totally kidding, John, but bleh, like that's why I put it on my community page, because if I had to suffer through that shit, so did everybody else, because that was just fucking gross. So the delivering the results of the election here, but there's more than one. There's alternatives with crossroads, doubles, alternatives, more than one, choices. Okay. But again, even though he's sitting at the top, he's fucked. He's sitting in house clouds. Okay. Man knights here to cross. So he suffers. He's suffering. Man knights here to bear. Him trying to control something, guiding control, or him trying to figure out his resources, because here, mountain in the house of bear, one way to interpret that is freezing assets or shit tons of debt. Shit tons of debt. Problems with his resources and his finances here. Also obstructing power. Okay. Him having knowledge of the obstruction. Okay. Book is sitting in the house of mountain. Him having knowledge of the obstruction and him lying this way about something that was lost or stolen. Again, the mice is within reach. Okay. If the mice were far away, that would mean that something that is lost or stolen, you're not going to be able to get it back. The mice is within reach. This is very close. This is close. You can touch it. Okay. So there was hope here of being able to steal back the loss, and he was the one that was guiding how to do it. Okay. The cross is also close by, meaning that his suffering at the time, or things that he had to sacrifice at that time, he didn't see it as a big deal. He didn't think he would. Okay. But that does not end up being the case, because if you follow this line down, all these people here that were in cahoots in the entourage, in that close, tight-knit little circle, mice in the house of house, those people suffer. The allies, the loyalists, they suffer. And they separate here from him, scythe in the house of man, and flip. You can't see it. Storks. They flip on him. Okay? So get ready for cartwheels and Cirque du Soleil, because there's going to be a lot of people jumping ship and doing all sorts of acrobatics. Okay. So perhaps, but this is a team of people working together. Okay. Marjorie, I can see your post. It says, why can't I post? It says error, try again. I don't know, but I can see it. Thank you, Lisa. Okay, so there's that. Now, this way here, okay, so there's the arrival or the achievement of something being very persistent at a rally or where there is a large audience of people, to manipulate or work with a woman. this line here. This woman is very well established and very, very, very famous. She's got clout. She's also married to a person that has clout, who makes decisions. But this person is sneaky, sneaky. But she's here. Who does that sound like? Who does that sound like? Let's play bingo. Okay. This person is very partisan. And she was wanting to flip the election. Crossroads in the House of Storks. Okay. The moon in the House of Ring. Very famous marriage. Okay. The fox over her head in the House of Dog. Very manipulative and cunning. And something about a really good friend. Okay. Woman in the House of, I'm sorry, not woman in the house. The, what is this? Bouquet in the House of Letter. Letter in the House of Bouquet. There's another mirror. Hold on. Let me write this down. Letter in the House of Bouquet. Bouquet in the House of Letter. Hold on. Letter. House 9. 9. House 27. Okay. So this could be as a thing. Invitations. Okay. It could be a letter with some sort of an offering. Whatever it is written communication, and it is written communications to multiple results here, multiple letters that she wrote to provide more than one result. So we're looking at alternative results here, and they were manipulated, fraudulent. The results are fraudulent here. And then the bouquet in the House of Letter, letter in the House of Bouquet. She is smack dab in the middle of it, but she shows up. Let me see. This is August, September, October, November. This is around December when she gets roped in. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? Okay, she has the lilies beneath her, as does he. So that means this woman has the lilies beneath her feet, as does he. Okay, doesn't matter how far, it's still not clean. You're stepping on it. Okay, that is in the House of Key. We'll follow that chain here in a minute. As a person, this is the King of Spades, which could be her significant other, her partner. Because here it tells me that she's a celebrity through marriage. Okay? You can't tell me. You cannot tell me I don't give two fucks. You cannot tell me that Ginny Thomas did not talk to her husband, Clarence Thomas, about him overturning the elections when it got to the Supreme Court. Bull motherfucking shit. Right there. Bullshit. Bullshit. All right? I may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but I ain't that fucking stupid. Okay? Because the lilies falls under her, there's something here that's not kosher in regards to her character, as well as his. And you look to the card to the right, it has to do with the storks in the House of Fish. Now, that would be, she's not on the up and up, regressive, because if storks is progress, it would be regressive, very regressive person. Also, she's very happy to take gifts of money along with this person here, the King of Spades. Money, gifts to him and her because she's married to a famous person. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? So again, that doesn't show up until around December, I think. So August, September, October, November, December. Yeah, she shows up sometime around December with this whole fiasco when she gets roped into the whole spiel. Okay. All right, let's see. We got clouds in the house of whip. Okay. So this is big trouble here. Coffin and clouds. Huge trouble. And he's in huge trouble too. He sits in the house of clouds, and we already went over this like a nervous breakdown but this news is coming, if I'm interpreting this, by the end of the month. Okay. This right here, huge trouble and losses, because there's a pattern to the fuckity fuck. Okay. Clouds in the house of whip. And then here's the gifts of money going to this person. There's the money, there's the gift, and down here is the king of spades. So these gifts of money, they're not clean. They are not clean, and that's significantly super important. And then we went over this line over here where the people that were working, the team of people in the entourage that were working together suffer, and the loyalties start to get cut off and people start flipping this way here. So this is August, September, October, November, December, January. This goes into February here. Okay. And then this way here, let me see what you guys are saying. I'm going to have to do one on her, because there's a reason why she's showing up here. I can look into this further, but considering that it's Giuliani's grand tableau, actually I can make them talk. Woman to anchor to man to tree. She was being very persistent, like not letting up. Pressure. Woman to anchor. She was being persistent in achieving her goal. There's Giuliani in the house of clouds. Okay. And then man to tree, him being deeply rooted, in this case growing, and then her. So that's the relationship between them. That's the relationship between them. And then this line here is putting the spotlight on this person's health, knowing his secrets of addiction. So the what is this? Stars in the house of tree. So this could be something health related that metastasizes, but it needs guidance. Okay. There's the child in its own house. So very important, well-known sort of celebrity child. There's secrets. Okay. Book in the house of mountain. Secrets about this child, and something to do with trouble, an enemy also obstructing something. A big problem. This child has a big problem around addictions. She was also pressuring him to go after this person here. Whip in the house of woman. There's also, we talked about that also, the other woman that he's going to court for because of the sexual assault, which would make sense. Whip in the house of woman. So abuse or sex with a woman. Okay. So we're looking at Ginny Thomas and the aide, and perhaps another woman here. There's a woman here with the queen of spades, and then one underneath the whip. But this one's more sexual and abusive. But there's these two. This one here, this woman here, she's sitting on house letter. She's got the king above her head, a jack, a queen, and a queen. So there's a man, this woman, another man, a younger man, and another woman here around this person. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people here. There's 6 people around this one. If I'm singling this one out because of the pip for a woman. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that were in the know, in the entourage, that went to a meeting, and they're going to suffer. These are part of the people that separate and flip. The loyalties get cut and they flip. Because if you follow this, okay, go here to the storks and then follow that line up. The conspirators, the team, 1, 2, 3, 4, sits on house 4, which is the house. The entourage, people in the entourage that were working together to steal something, suffer and guilt and pain, okay, in the house of birds for a meeting that was had, a guilty meeting, okay, suffering because of their loyalties, or suffering loyalties or painful loyalties, okay, dog in the house of garden. So a large group of supporters. So we could be talking at the rally and here where it got violent. Okay, these are weapons and violence. Okay, from where? Up here. Loyalist. Where were the loyalists? In the house of garden. And then here's the garden, and it also knights to the garden. So his link to those people, also the people in the entourage that were privy to and in the meeting that was had, they suffer, and then the loyalties are cut, and then they flip. Okay, you all picking up what I'm putting down? So for the members of Congress, if that's what this is in reference to, along, because there's a meeting here with the cross in the house of birds. That meeting's over here. Follow this line up. The meeting where everybody was in agreement on how they were going to obstruct and delay and lie about something being stolen to get it back. Okay, so for these members of Congress, August, September, October, November, December, January. This shows up for January of 24. Okay, so be patient with that, but it's coming. It's coming. Also, with this, besides having knowledge of this person, this child that suffers from addiction, another way to interpret the heart of this tableau is there's your guilt because of a meeting that was had. There's your innocence. And they'll keep these people that are loyal will keep it secret. So we're looking at the group of loyalists here, dog in the house of garden, the group of loyalists here that were in cahoots, but they were wanting innocence here, and they would keep their mouth shut. Okay. So, and then this book, Knights Down to the House, over here. Okay. Knowledge and secrets from the entourage, members of Congress, house in the house of cross, the meeting, members of Congress that were at a meeting. So they flip and he flips. Once they indict his ass, which according to this, it's coming soon. Like, this is very, very fast. Okay. And the trial starts. Like I said, get your popcorn out because it's going to be Cirque du Soleil. So there's that. Now, let me look at this. Okay, this is really, really, really bad news. This is really, really, really bad news, and it's persistent. It doesn't let up. This right here, accidents and a lot of problems along your path. So, and then stars to this, a series of unfortunate events. It just snowballs again. Okay. But he's about to have some serious financial problems. So let me see this line. So this is the invitation to a party or a gathering that was very dangerous and quite violent. Okay. But he's also being cut off somehow from a large group of people or a party. So interpret that both ways. The invitation to a rally and also being cut out from a party and causing a lot of trouble for this entire group of people, an entire party that's going to have a shitstorm. Okay? Right here. Then there's your pain and suffering because of a meeting that was had and things that were said, also to include phones because it sits in the house of birds. Okay? And then he becomes a really, 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 really big problem and a very powerful enemy. Very powerful enemy to a person in power. He becomes a powerful enemy to another person in power. Right here. A powerful enemy to another person in power. This person was involved, though. This person was in agreement about this whole spiel with the transition. This is a woman here. He becomes an enemy to her, too. Queen of Clubs. He tries to throw her under the bus. Here's the bus. Here she is. Brown hair, brown eyes. Could be, but not always. Has an S. So perhaps like a Sidney Powell. Okay? But he becomes a problem for her. Because she sits below him, he throws her under the bus. There's powerful enemies here, though, too. Hold on. So there's Sidney Powell. Here's the campaign consultant here, and it's a man. And that person puts a target on Giuliani. News about the campaign consultant, King of Diamonds here. Okay, so this is a person. Fish in the house of Tower. This person is a campaign or a consultant for a large body of people, a large group, like an audience, okay? News about the campaign consultant. But this person working as the consultant, that person worked at a tall building or in a corporate building or an official building because it's sitting in the house of Tower. And then there's a person here that also becomes a target who is a man. One is younger, one is regular aged. Jack of Spades. Then there's a woman here besides the lawsuit for the sex, because this is sex. There's a woman here that gets criticized by a man in regards to this whole situation. So here we have persistent trouble, like it does not let up. And then the friends start fighting. The friends in the party, dog in the house of garden over here in the house of scythe. These friends here start fighting. Also friends here that have weapons and are dangerous. They're already suffering here. Okay. And because this sits in the house of birds, I'm wondering if this is also in connection to, but this is coming up, the link to the little people, little boys that are suffering right now, that all the little boys went to a big party and they brought a lot of weapons. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Am I making fun? Am I making sense? Yes? Okay. Understood? Okay. Okay, got it. So this could be in regards to the little people that brought weapons to a party. Okay? As well as members of the entourage that are going to start flipping and going, it was you, it was you, it was you, it was you. And there's a circular firing squad. Shit in your pants up here. Okay? Hold on. Let me go get my little thingy up there. Give me 1 second, you guys. I got to go take care of my nose again. Hold on. I'm back. Oh, shit. I missed something. Oh, thank you, Sharon. Yes, if you would like a reading, you can reach me at BeccaLenormandReadings@gmail.com. All right. Let me see. Hold on. Hold on a second here. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see something. Trying to see something. Hold on. I'm trying to see if Homeboy is going to be arrested. Like, detained until trial. Because Coffin is in the house of Ship and Ship is in the house of Coffin. One way to interpret that is stopping and ending the transition, but the transition moves along. Okay? But here it's saying that him traveling or going somewhere, transferring somewhere else, transitioning somewhere else, no. Okay? So he's up here, isolation is down here. So the only way to get that to talk is man to ship to tree, or to tower to tree. This is Rudy Giuliani's grand tableau, not Trump's. So if I look at that, he travels, he goes on a little vacation, okay, in his little bus to here, to this tall official building. But the building is for health. Okay? But this is sitting in the house of Lily's. Lily's is sitting in the house of Key. Key in the house of Fox. Important judge. The investigation of an ally in the party. He's cut off from the public. He's cut off from the public. But this is also taking an ambulance to a hospital. Because there's this. We talked about that earlier. Let me follow his chain. Because this is reading like him going to a hospital. Even though the tree is not close, it's still falling in his line. Man, something very important and significant. A lot of energy. And then health here. Growth. Okay. But I'm kind of hesitant to say that because it's not within reach. So it could also be saying that there's something very significant that comes up for him for health once this shit comes in. So it's like, this is going to hit him. He's going to have a fucking nervous breakdown. Shit's going to hit the fan. And then boom, he's going to go here. Because this is saying it comes by the end of the month. So let's see if... Hold on. Let me follow this chain. 28 to 6 to 11 to 29 to 26 to 21, 15, 16, 5, 30, 33, 14, 18, 20, 10, and then 28. Okay. Yeah, it'll fry his brain for sure. So the chain goes man to clouds to whip. So that could just be saying chronically smoking. Okay. One way to interpret that, chronically smoking, or just a fucking shitstorm. And it involves another man, two other men. King of clubs, jack of clubs. Deep shit, chronic deep shit for him and two other men. Him chronically smoking. Okay. Then it goes woman to book to mountain. A woman that has knowledge or keeping a secret about obstruction, delays. Okay. Then it goes bear and stars. So power that is very, 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 very vast and guiding someone in regards to power, giving them a roadmap. Okay. From there, it goes to the tree. Very widespread and deeply rooting and only growing and growing and growing. Okay. From tree to lilies, giving counsel, mentoring, also the special counsel that's very important and is getting answers to the fraud with the allies in the network. And he is cut off from that network, or that network, that rally, that large group of people, that audience. Okay. Target him, or he's separated from that group as well. That's his chain. Yeah, hippie. Yeah. So this right here is also like a web because it's so vast and growing. But him and these two here, this is a man, and this is also male, but it tends to be of younger energy. So I would think him and John Eastman and whoever this other person is. So I don't know if this would be like a Jeffrey Clark or somebody else, but this energy right here is younger because it's a jack, it's not a king. Okay. Let me see. I'm still looking at this chain to see how else I can interpret it. Give me a second, you guys. And this woman here, remember I talked about that she was being very persistent with him and making sure that this was steady and solid. Okay. That's their relationship. Her line, her chain around the houses is woman to book. So this woman has knowledge and also has secrets, is keeping hush hush. Okay. She also worked on a project to obstruct and delay something. Power that was very vast, or power that is very, very vast, guiding someone, giving them guidance on power. Okay. There's the growth and what is solid. The special counsel is getting answers to the fraud and manipulation of the allies in the party that were dangerous or made very bad decisions. It's like a rupture right here, an accident, a rupture. Violent, okay? But separated, okay? Giuliani, and then the shitstorm. The chronic problems, the chronic shitstorm, chain smoking, but Giuliani and these two people, and like I said, they're male. But she has knowledge of it, and she was very persistent to him. The woman was also very persistent in getting agreements and calling here, making phone calls, calling. She knights up here to the letter. She wrote something, writing, and was inviting or giving offers. This right here is not a person. This is the 10 of hearts. Okay, but it's surrounded by male energy. King of diamonds, or I'm sorry, King of clubs, King of diamonds, Jack and a Jack. With this right here, something very, very large, and this is an abundance of it. I would say this person is more like a Mark Meadows. Why? Because this person is an aid or helps. Okay. This person has also come under a lot of scrutiny, was very nervous, was going to suffer, and he cut his losses from him and flipped. So I would say Mark Meadows is here. Dog in the house of garden. Okay. Where's the bear? The bear is also an executive. Okay. So hold on. These people are suffering because they desired loads of power. Loads of power. And these two right here is like absolute power. This is food, energy, food, finances, resources, power, diet, energy, success, and triumph. These two, absolute power. And these people were desiring that. So we're looking at Proud Boys here. And with this right here, Mark Meadows. I'm wondering if this is more like a John Eastman, because it's sitting in the house of Whip, and Whip is down here in the house of Woman. Also, this ring sitting in the house of Snake. I said earlier, dark hair, dark eyes, not always, but sometimes with an S, or anything that links or anything that coils or loops around like a snake. His link to Sidney Powell. He's linked here to Sidney Powell. She comes up in September. And also the meeting that was had to obstruct and all that other stuff. We already talked about it. So, okay, we've identified Ginny, Jack Smith, a woman here, a man here. There's this person here too. Now, I'm trying to figure out where I'm thinking Trump is down here. Why? It's because this is the king of hearts, the house, and he's sitting on house cross. So if I was looking for Trump, I would say house is Trump, and look at that. He's falls right under Giuliani's line. And he is sitting on house clouds. So he was very close and working with this man here. So this is probably like a John Eastman. Okay. But following Giuliani's line, there's Giuliani answers or giving access to success to grow the success of this person here who's guilty. House in the house of cross. So we could be talking about the White House, the person that was residing in the White House that is guilty, who lost here. Okay. And was looking to steal back the success because the what do you call this? The mice is so close, and he was providing guidance. Him and this person here. They were both abusing it, being very chronic about it. Also a pattern to what they were doing. Okay, so we've identified Trump. We have identified Eastman. We've identified Sidney Powell. There's about 7 to 12 people that attended this meeting, perhaps more, that were in this meeting to obstruct and come up with an agreement on how they were going to provide alternates over here. She was in the middle of this whole alternate situation. This woman here, she has knowledge of it, and she was keeping it secret, but she was writing. She sent a lot of letters pleading and asking. But she was also very persistent with this over her head. Married. Her marriage is very famous, partisan, and accepts gifts of money from a group or a very large society that is very problematic and dogmatic this way. That's Ginny Thomas. Okay, so she's gonna get wrapped up in some shit. But if this is her line, she's also on her way to over here. Okay, so I will do a separate tableau on her. So we will see that. Any questions for this? Because I think I've dug at it as much as I can. Questions would be helpful so then I could find where it is and find the answers. You see. I already went over that, Rose. And that is news that he will be traveling to court very quickly. This is an action card. This is an action card. Here's the court and the law. News that he's traveling to court is arriving very, very quickly because he has been identified as being linked. But that news is coming right here, if I'm interpreting this correctly. Perhaps by the end of the month. Questions would be helpful. This right here tells me that the allies and everybody that was working together in that network, as well as in the entourage, are shitting their motherfucking pants right now, because it goes dog to mice to man to son. So the allies are nervous, shitting their pants about this man here and the one that sits beneath him with the clouds, which is the King of Clubs. And how they're going to burn for the choices that they made in regards to the election. The pardon scandal is here. Okay. And then here and here. So this knight's here next to this. That involves a group of people that were almost soliciting for it and willing to pay, but it was not granted. If this is the gift, it was not granted. Not granted. There's knowledge here as well, these two lines here about the loyalists that were coming to the party that were armed and dangerous and very, very violent. These two lines. Oh, Steve Bannon. Okay, let me see, John. Because I only got a couple people to work with. So there's him. He's sitting on House Clouds. Clouds is here. We've already discussed what's his face? Eastman. So we've identified him. There was a king of clubs here, or a king of diamonds. Down here with the house, we've identified that as Trump. And then the king of spades, which is down here. Now, and he's sitting on the house of key. So one way to interpret that would be, I'm going to follow that chain. One way to interpret this person would be the special counsel. But also this is a person that is a mentor of some sort, a veteran, older. Okay. Had recent cosmetic surgery up here. Okay. Follow it up. Independent or an entrepreneur of some sort, also has some sort of fame, very closely linked to people with weapons that are dangerous. So I could read this as Steve Bannon. So let's follow that one around and we'll look at it several ways. So it goes lilies to key. Where's 33? Hold on. 33 to 14 to 18 to 20 to 10 to 28 to 6, 11, 29, 26, 21, 15, 16, 5, and 30. So I'm going to look at this a couple ways. So one way to interpret that would be the special counsel, because this would be a man. Not always, but quite possibly a man, because it's the king of spades. Okay. Important investigation or very, very, very important job into the fraudulent and manipulative allies, friends, and loyalists that were part of a big, huge, large group, the entire network, targeting Giuliani and this other man, causing huge problems for them that are chronic. Okay. And the problems are also going to come to this woman who had knowledge of the obstructions and the delays for power that was very, very vast. And it's rooted. That shit ain't going anywhere. It's solid. Okay. So that's one way to interpret that. That would be like interpreting it for Jack Smith in the context of what's his face? Bannon. So here we have a veteran, important con man or an important con manipulator, con. Okay. manipulating and conning loyalists at a rally or a party that were dangerous or had weapons. Okay. Then Giuliani, the chronic shitstorm with him and this other man, John Eastman, the chronic shitstorm that this woman had knowledge about in regards to the delay. Also, remember I said powerful enemies, okay? Enemies that are very powerful, and also a lot of financial problems, okay? Financial problems. And how they were being guided for this thing to take root and grow. Okay? But the reason this could be like, I'm looking at the lilies, John. This could be Steve Bannon. It could also, I mean, because the Crossroads is kind of close. It could also apply to like a Roger Stone as well, because Crossroads is very, very close down this line. There's also another woman here, Queen of Diamonds, and a woman here. But she's sitting right in the middle of it. And she had knowledge. She knows. And she was keeping it secret. But there's another person. There's another woman here. This woman here. Huh. And there's one underneath it too, because it sits on the House of Storks. So 2 women up here. And then Ginny and her famous husband. I can't pick everybody out of this tableau. Fuck, that might even be wrong, what I said, Steve Bannon, because it could apply to Steve Bannon. It could apply to Roger Stone as well. But they're linked very closely to these dangerous people that are loyalist, but they come in very large groups. There's many of them. Many here. Dog sits on the House of Garden and it Knights to Garden, and these people suffer. So it could apply to both of them, but they're linked very, very closely. I hope that makes sense. So there's that. So it's almost impossible to pick out every single person, John. I mean, maybe there is a way to do it and I'm just dumb and I don't know, but it's just almost impossible because there's so many players. It's so vast. It's so vast. The criminality is very, very vast. So, and I don't know everybody's names. There might be people we haven't even fucking heard of yet, you know? So let's see here. What else should I look at? What else should I look at? Yeah, exactly, Rhonda. Not just people that we know that were immediately around working with Donald Trump and Giuliani and Eastman and all that stuff. There's also the fake electors in all the fucking states. You know, so, and there were what, 7 swing states that they were trying to undo? You know, so, and then that's not even talking about the attorneys general in certain states. There, I just saw one forget what state it was. I think it might have been Michigan. I think him and another lady were just indicted a couple days ago. He was running to be the attorney general, I think, in Michigan. Well, him and this other lady just got indicted because he was trying to seize the voting machines. And that's another thing. The fucking voting machines that they were trying to fucking take. And all the 8 million freaking laws that were broken there. You know, they did that in Arizona. There was another state where they were trying to seize the vote. Oh, and then not counting the woman that let those, what is it, the ninja people come in and take the voting machines. So now the entire state can't use those voting machines while wasting taxpayer dollars on, like, it's just, it's insane. It was nationwide. I mean, it's insane. There's no way that I could possibly, I mean, I ain't that good. I can't possibly dig all of that out. I would love to, you know, maybe I just got to study more, but you know, it's just very, 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 very vast. Very vast. Ken Paxton's trial starts September 5th. Wow. Yeah, the fake electors right here. And she was in the middle of it. And there's two women here in regards to the fake electors. The Queen of Diamonds being the crossroads, which is talking about the election itself. And it's sitting in the House of Storks, which it's changing something. And that is the Queen of Hearts. So there's two women here that she was in direct contact with, and another one here that she was mailing. So she was mailing 1, 2, 3 women in particular that I can fish out of here for the fake electors here. But Ginny Thomas doesn't show up until August, September, October, November, until December. So while Giuliani's tableau, like I said, if I'm interpreting this correctly, that news is going to arrive by the end of the month, probably, about the decision that's been made. Here's the choice. Here's a very large group, an audience, the public. It sits on the House of Scythe, which is a decision. And then here are the results of that decision. So if you read these two here, I would say grand jury decision, or a choice that involves the public, a large group, a select group that make a choice and deliver results, that he kind of gets a formal letter, a happy letter. Congratulations, you just won an indictment, you know, sort of thing here. And then these two, I would guess, I could be wrong, by the end of the month. So I was trying to figure out if he gets detained. And I was looking because the tower is too far. So the only way to get him to talk to the tower is go man to ship to tower to tree. Man, one way to interpret that is man travels. Also, the ship is sitting in the house of coffin. Coffin is death. Coffin is illness, endings. So he could be traveling for an illness to an institution for health. And up here we talked about the nervous breakdown. His column, the tree is sitting in his column. It's not directly on him, but it's in his column. So if there's isolation for him, detainment, take this with a grain of salt. I would almost venture to say they hit him with the indictment. Holy fuck. He shits his pants. He blows out his asshole and he's going to the hospital. Okay. I mean, I could be wrong, you know, but take it. for what it's worth. We'll see. We'll see. And I take notes. So I am more than happy to come back online and be like, oh, that's where I fucked it up. So there's that. But there's travel to a facility. And who knows? It doesn't have to be like he shit his pants and blew out his asshole and now he's got like a serious health issue. This is talking about a mental breakdown, and he's sitting in the house of clouds. Clouds has to do with your mind, confusion, a lot of trouble in the head as far as thoughts. Okay. So there's that. He's not faking it, John. He ain't faking it. He ain't faking it. Mm-mm. Not according to this, what I can tell, that's not supported. It's saying that he has trouble with health that becomes very chronic and increases the stress. Like the stress goes through the roof. So yeah. And then his line of fate is this. Okay. So we have the lilies, the storks, the garden, not the garden, Jesus, the clover and the house. Okay. So something that we've been waiting on for a while, this takes time to mature. Okay. Progresses very quickly for the entourage and the pain starts coming. This is something that takes a long time. It could be months, it could be years. Okay. It takes a long time. Also, this is the card of winter. But these two cards, this is an action card here, and this acts very, very quickly. So what we've been waiting for a long time progresses very quickly. And those within the inner circle start to suffer and pay. Okay. His health issues are karma related. John, I'm going to say it. He's going to shit his pants so bad, he's going to blow out his asshole. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Hey, Jenny. How you doing? I was trying to see if Giuliani gets detained awaiting trial. That's what we were just talking about here. And because isolation is so far, see, he's up here. Isolation is down here. The only way to get him to talk to isolation is go man to ship to tower to tree. So he's sitting in the house of clouds, big doo-doo. Ship in the house of coffin, which could be travel related to a serious illness. Okay. And then this is the institution for health. So I'm just trying to, and then if I'm interpreting this correctly, Jenny, I was saying that the news arrives very quickly, maybe by the end of the month. It's like it's coming real fast right here. And then in this tableau, the writer is in his own house, the child is in its own house, and the heart is in its own house. Okay. The coffin and ship are mirroring, and the letter and bouquet are mirroring. So hold on, give me a second. Okie dokie. Sorry if I'm still sounding like I try to blow my nose, y'all, but it is what it is, and I'm sorry. Any other questions? Yeah. Yeah, Jenny. Anything else that you guys can think of before I close this out? I think I should do Ginny Thomas next because this right here is very interesting with her. Because like I said, she was very, very, very persistent about that win and very persistent towards him to gain access and open up the door and plant somebody in the White House. That person, this King of Hearts is already suffering. He sits in the House of Cross. And from everything we went over on this portion, this is really looking like a Ginny Thomas. That's really looking like a Ginny. I could be wrong, but yep. So let me see what else. I'll try to do her tomorrow. Hopefully nothing else happens. And because like I told you guys, I was trying to go live. My computer wouldn't work, or the YouTube wouldn't let my video go live. And then I saw that Autumn was on. So I went on with her for a little bit because we just got that news about Donald Trump fucking around and finding out real quick with Jack Smith. So I don't know if they're going to do like some sort of an emergency thing and they'll hear him out tomorrow, or it's going to have to wait till Monday. I'm not sure, but I will try to come on again tomorrow and we'll do Ginny. And I apologize in advance that I sound horrific, but yeah, the protective order. So any other questions on this? You guys can ask anything and I'll answer it if I can find it in here. Thanks, John. Any other questions? Going once, going twice. Let's see. Hopefully nothing else happens with them. Oh, hell no, lucky girl. Hell no. Hell no. Throw him in a freaking tank full of piranhas. Like, yeah, I was late breaking for the Jen. Like, girl, he didn't last 24 fucking hours before he broke the fucking judge's orders. It's like he's been goading Jack Smith and everybody else for so long that I am so glad somebody finally beat him over the head with a fucking stick. I already went over that, MS. I already went over that. And it's hard to tell, but it's looking like quite possibly the Lilies, but it could be Steve Bannon, it could be Roger Stone, it could be Michael Flynn, because this person is tied very closely to younger males that are dangerous, that are very loyal, and they're part of a network. But these people are already suffering. They're already suffering. They've already been indicted. So it could be Steve Bannon. It could be Roger Stone. So, but this person flips. Also, another way to interpret this as well, we could look at this as well in the context of Jack Smith as well. Okay, so I'm limited on character cards for pips. So it's just a matter of trying to pick them out. And sometimes it applies to a whole bunch of them. It's just how you read it, you know? So let me see. Vivian, Jen and I were reading on that before I went live with Autumn, or I jumped on Autumn's live stream, and we were getting that he would be restricted on travel, home confinement. That's what Jen Lintero and I were getting. Is that correct, Jenny? Because you did a couple reads, and I could have sworn that travel is restricted. Because one of them was ship and mountain. So travel was restricted. He can't go anywhere. And then there was another one where you got the house in the end. So it was almost like not isolated, but contained within property or something. Yeah, home confinement. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Yeah, I'm oof. He's just a fucking piece of shit, dude. Like, I swear to God. He's scared shitless of Jack Smith, you know, so then he goes on his failing Twitter to talk shit. And he's been talking shit about Jack Smith this whole fucking time. Not just Jack Smith, but bringing his wife into it too, going after Jack Smith's wife. And it wasn't until the judge, out of all three judges that he's had, the one in New York, the piece of shit in Florida, and then this one now in DC, the one in DC was the only one that gave him a warning and said, you will not do this, you will not do this, you will not do this, yada, yada, yada. Not even 24 hours later, he's doing exactly what she told him not to do. And that's all Jack Smith needed. And he went straight back and was like, oh, here, by the way, here's evidence, you know. It's ugh. No, Bonnie, not in my area. Oh yeah, Jenny, I was reading the transcript. The Rudy Giuliani transcripts, that was disgusting. That was just so disgusting. That's the worst smut I've ever read in my life. So what was it, Lucky Girl? He says, come here, big tits, twice, right? Those tits are mine. He says it 3 times. And the rest of that transcript, I didn't take a picture of it, but it's online. He goes into this rant about how Jewish men don't last very long. And because he's Italian, like just some fucking crazy shit. I'm like, motherfucker, how many Viagras do you have to pop before your wiener works? You know, like it was just that the whole transcript was disgusting. So if you get a chance and you're sick in the head or want some, you know, gross entertainment, go read the transcript from Rudy Giuliani to his assistant. I mean, talking about Jewish men can't get hard-ons, but he's Italian, so he's got endurance. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. He probably hasn't seen his dick in like 10 years, maybe more, you know? So, anyways, any other questions? Oh, yeah, he did. That's right, Bonnie. That's right. Oh my gosh, I had asked Jenny, I had asked Autumn because I went on her channel very briefly and I had asked her, I was like, at this point, I'm wondering if he's trying to get detained or put on home confinement or anything so that he doesn't have to go to court in Florida for the stolen documents thing. You know, because like he's that intelligent. You know, the J is for genius. You know, like he's just trying to get arrested at this point. But hell, don't drag me into memorizing that Rudy smut. I use my brains for better stuff than that. Oh, lucky girl. I'm going to start sending you all sorts of emails with all the Rudy smut all over it. All of it. So is that it? You guys, no further questions on the GT? I have it in my notes in my little notebook over there. So if anything happens, you know what? Let me ask. Hold on. So I asked, when will Rudy Giuliani be indicted for January 6th? First card is the writer. Writer is very, 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 very fast. It's also card 1. Okay, this is 1 day, 1 week. Next card is the mountain, number 21. On the 21st or 21 days. Like I said up here, it shows that news arrives very quickly towards the end. So perhaps around like the 21st or something. But if I'm interpreting this correctly, it's looking like it's this month. Because he's been separated from the network and made a target individually. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna go now, since I don't see anybody else asking any other questions. Okie dokie, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out. And thanks so much. And I will see you all, hopefully, knock on wood, maybe tomorrow, because I'm interested to get to her. All right, you guys, have a good night. And thank you so much for hanging out and the super chats and the PayPal donations and everything. You guys are great. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, lucky girl. I dropped a bunch of F-bombs towards the end there. I think you missed them. But just for you, fuckity fuck, fuck, fuck. Okay? I give no fucks about the fucks. All right? Bye-bye.